Welcome back to Alchemy Factory. My name is Nilaus, and I'm addicted to this game. I gotta admit, this is so fun to do these kind of modular designs. This game eluded me in the beginning, but it's really getting me hooked. So I've done a few things between sessions, just to clean things up. We just have something nice here. Just ranked it all up here, all the ingredients, all the things that we can do. And then they're sort of nicely organized, and there is just space to move around. I've also sort of reorganized this entrance through the window so that we now have 6 items coming in. One of them is a little bit lackluster. I think that's the bandages, I guess. Yes, that's bandages, which we also just hacked together here. Just a single one for bandages. Not really super important, but yeah, it's there. Then you can also see that I put floors outside, and I want to just build only on floors because it just looks so much nicer. Then we have kind of using it as city blocks. It's not really intended as such, but it just kind of fits that there's a little build in each of these. And yeah, so I also have this belt on the outside. This is something I explained last time, was that I actually want to have, as you can see, something like this, where it goes in to these portals, and then they automatically feed into this little build. And that's going to be the intention for me moving forward. So I built everything in this range here. This build is an updated version of the one I had last time for the the clay and the stone bricks. And there was a really good comment, so I appreciate the comments. And as you can tell, I'm actually listening to them. They was basically saying like, hey, you could add one more table saw and one more stone crusher, and it wouldn't really be that much bigger footprint. So I did that, and that means now we're putting 60 stone in here. And that means we're actually getting a much more at ratio. So that's coming out here, the sand, and this one was just the extra one that I just do to burn extra stuff. That one goes in here, and that one goes in here. So this one is now getting 60 sand in here, and then the charcoal is also coming out from here. So it actually works, and yeah, so that gets us a little bit more. That means we now get 15 per minute, and this one will convert 10 of them. So I get 5 clay and 10 bricks. Well, bricks are always going to be, they're definitely going to be in short supply for a long time. Aside from this, all the other builds are basically the same. The only one that doesn't really have any direct inputs up here is this one, is this iron, because it's so expensive to build it up there. So we'll skip that for a little bit. Moved my farms over here, and the objective today is to get rid of the farms. We can't quite get rid of it, but we can get rid at least of some of it. We have 79 silver coins and also some copper coins. I think the first thing we want to do is buy this house so that we can get a little bit more sort of space. I don't want to build up against that. So what are we going to do today? Well, let's look in the research tree, because that's going to be our guiding principle here. Here's another thing. Be careful about what you research, because if I research glass, for example, it will say, oh, now I expect to have glass, and the people will come into the shop and be annoyed that you don't have glass, which I think is unfair. It's unfair. So we're going to go down here and actually focus on the nursery. Nursery don't do anything unless I have a fertilizer. So we're going to do basic fertilizer. And first things first, though, let's make sure that we automate things in this base. So let's walk over here. I have my money. Money is flowing into these boxes, this box and this box. I really don't want silver in here, but that we don't have a filter splitter. Then it flows out, around, and over, and into these 2 catapults. Going over here, bling bling, that's more research, and that goes into this corner where I will build a punch through a hole through the wall, like so. And, oh, that did not work. Ah. Well, I thought I clicked it. There we go. Now it's clicked. And it comes out here. And that means now we have a belt of money running around. That's a great perimeter defense. Why don't you see that in normal shops? I don't get it. Like just a money trail running around the entire shop area. But that's going to be great. So we're going to be buying some sigils. Let's go in and buy sigils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these right now. And then more later on. Oof, that's it adds up. And they're pretty expensive, but they are absolutely worth it, these sigils. It's just the cheapest way to do things. It's a one-time investment. There we go. That's 8. And let's see. The nighttime doesn't really matter much. Okay, these are already ready to go, but that's we're not going to get into that yet. Good. Right, so let's go up here, get this one in. Oh wow, that's so poorly placed. There. And setting up to wood. And you can see that stuff is coming down the line. And that's again another wood here. That's the wood, and this one is wood, and this one is wood. And then we do another one here, which will be stone. And that's expensive, and that will just consume a lot of our resources now. But yeah, I think it's well, I know it's worth it. This is very much the best way of doing this, I think. I will also be leading another thing on top of this line, and that will be fertilizer, at which because then I want the central fertilizer build, and then later on I can then upgrade all the fertilizer into advanced fertilizer, which is way more valuable. So let's do another round of resupply and then get started on the fertilizer build. There we go. Another batch has been done, and we can then move on with the design here. So we're going to be making a module, and I'm going to be making the module over here. Let's do this, because this won't just run all the way around. So, yeah, what is the module going to do? Let's start by sort of figuring out how to do the final step, and then sort of count backwards. This is going to be fertilizer. There. That requires some quicklime powder. Quicklime powder comes from quicklime, and quicklime comes from something else. So quicklime powder will have to go in here. This is quicklime powder, and that comes from quicklime. It's a 9-second craft time, which is weird. Then it comes, and quicklime comes from stone, which is also 9 seconds. So at least there's a consistent build speed here. So they're the same. And this is made in a crucible, and the other one was made in a grinder. So it's basically a known format. That was one thing. The other thing that we needed is the plant ash, which comes from sage, only sage, and that needs to be burned in a crucible. And yeah, so that means we are actually going to start by having one of these. Okay, let's get some bricks in here. We don't want to feed this continuously. We want this to be fed exclusively by one of these. This one will then get the sage. All right, I'll need to get that. And then I need to get some stone for the quicklime and some iron for, or some wood for the burning. And then I realized that already at this point I built it a little bit too far away. So let's get this in. I'm getting kind of comfortable with these commands. That's something, right? Then this will come in from the line here, and this will come in from the line. So this is all good. Now, what we then need is we need to build. We're going to need some furnaces, because everything needs to actually happen on a furnace. That one and that one, I think, here. I think it has to be here, and you have to be moved as well. Good. Because this is going up. Don't really like this, I think. No, that's not a great location. I think I need to move it a little bit further away. Because if I look at the crucible here, I'm going to need to have 3 crucibles and 3 of these. That's kind of a given. And then on this one, I'd have to have at least 2 of these coming backwards, and then 1 of this one coming forwards. And then I can see that I don't really... Oh, I do have it. It's just some idiot decided to put that one in. There we go. That's much better. And now I can build these lines. I am going to get... Let's start with the fuel, because when the fuel is working, this fuel will go here, and then it'll go around and go into these 2. That means it has to go... It could either go up, or it could sort of stay at this level. I think I'd rather have it stay on this level, and then... Yeah, like that. And that goes up. Then on this side, I don't think I need anything in these tiles. So we'll do this, and then we can always. So that goes in here. That means wood goes in, gets burned, goes in here, and then it needs to go down. And it can go down here. And then it'll go out into these two locations. Great. Which means this one, no, it actually is still necessary. And we'll build one at a time here. So there, that should work. Oh, end of day. Let's see what we are getting in money. This is pretty good, I think. All right, we're also just spending a lot of money. Oh, that's some bricks are being sold. 27, plus we also did a quest. But I spent 32, 38, 40. Okay, well, it's not great right now. This is an investment cycle. It's good. It's like the AI business. Just kind of everyone is just feeding this along. So I could do this one. I couldn't because I don't have. Okay, so let's go resupply this. Okay, so now I've put the sage seed in here, and I can then take these out here as well. I think we're looking good. So we should be able to. I can also just press G here, and then it puts in as much as I need for just one of these to go. So let's see. Wood is coming out. Should go in, get some healing or something like this. Then the next one is going here. And let's flip the other way from here, and then goes in. So the thing is, this is producing, well, 20 if it gets fertilizer. It doesn't get fertilizer. How do we kickstart this? We're going to need some fertilizer to get the fertilizer going. Well, we're going to get some from here, and then we can probably kickstart. Well, we can kickstart it. It's just going to be awful, but it will be possible to kickstart it. I will just take this one out and then put it into a box instead. There, which means I should go over and pick those up right now so that I'm sure that I have it just for the kickstart here. There we go. That's about 100. That should get us going. Okay. So that needs to also be able to go from here and into this one, which will also be working at the same speed. So we go here. Now that one is an output. So that has to, I think I can just take this out, because then I can use this for output. There we go. That's one output. And the other output is going to be, let's see, is the stone working? No, it's not working because I don't have the levels up here. So there, that should go in. Let's have a look at what it comes out as, because this is working at 6.7, which is awful, but remember 3 times 6.7 is 20. So it is coming out at 20, and this one is the same speed. So I'm going to get 20 out, and then I'm splitting it so that it goes actually 20, 20, 20. That means 30 one side, 30 on the other side. And that means if I look at this one is 15. Unfortunately, you can say the plant ash isn't working right now. It's not going to be producing enough to keep the whole thing going. So yeah, it's only going to be, this is consuming 15, but I can only put 20 in. So should I have to? Yes, absolutely, I should have to. And let's see, how would that be most efficiently done? I think like this and this. That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense. Although I really would like it to make sense, because I would like to be able to do this here. Oh, right, this should actually be moved one out. Like that. Okay, because now it makes sense, because then I can take on the bottom level here. I can take you and do this way, and then get you in that one and that one, because that means I actually allow, look at this nice compact build here. And you're out, you go merge, you merge, what? Oh, we don't have enough wood. Oh, another little resupply here. There we go. That one, and that one. And then they go down to this location. And there, that should work. And that should also be able to put it in here. Right, so now I actually have exactly what I want. What the first thing is interesting is that I actually need to have this one here. This will be bouncing over to put the fertilizer into that one, whenever that gets done. So first I need to burn through the sort of the starter thing, but then we have to be able to feed it itself. There we go. That means you need to also put something in to kickstart it. Then I'm going to put it into a box, and then I will take the box out, and that'll probably be like this, and then I can just kickstart it in here. Oh, actually, that's not what I want. I want this one to be actually going on back onto the belt out here. That's actually interesting how I'm going to do that. I haven't really thought of that, because I actually want it to be on top of this belt, and the really only one place that this would work would be if I built something like this, because I'm going to need to get a lot of these belts here. So that would go out, and then put fertilizer on this belt. But that means I need another launcher. It's a little bit more tricky, I think, because the launcher would have to be placed. It could be placed here, which means I could take this block like that, but then it goes, no, it doesn't. It doesn't go outside of the area that I'm. Okay, so this works. There we go. This one will then launch on that. And that means it now goes back out onto the line. Here. Looks like it's working. It's throwing it out, and that means we now have fertilizer on the belt. Now, let's talk ratios. How much we got in this one? 47. That's still too much. Let's make the nursery, and then we'll talk ratios, because that's the depressing part of this design here. Oh. Yep. And that will be you. And then I set the fertilizer or the catapult going in here, and that launches in. So let's see how fast it actually goes. So this was now producing at 3 per second and coming out at 20. Lovely. So that's exactly the same as a normal one. When you get better fertilizer, it gets better, a lot better. The fertilizer is used every 12 seconds. So that means that it is 5 per minute. And I'm producing, this block here is producing 20 per minute. So if one of these is consuming 5 per minute, that means one of these blocks can support 4 of these nurseries. Except one of the nurseries is actually itself. So that means this whole thing, what can you do? Yeah, unfortunately, you can do 1, 2, and 3. Well, okay, well, not even. Don't have that resource yet. There we go. So that means for every, oh, it's iron. That one. Yeah, for every block I make, I can only actually feed 3 of these. And that's not so much. Oops. But it's still like, this is producing 20 per second, and these ones will produce, the flax will produce 30 per second. So it's still like a lot more than this, but it's, and it's automatic, which is nice, but still like only 3. I was thinking like way more. So it becomes pretty obvious that we need a lot of both. First of all, a lot of these modules, and second, we need a lot of, a lot of these modules. We need a lot of these modules to actually get us going. But this actually gets us to the next part, which would be like, okay, so we have this blueprint, and now that I should say these nice blueprints that I have, like I think there are some nice blueprint. Like this is a nice blueprint. I think this is a nice blueprint. Some of the other ones are kind of nice. I am going to start uploading those to a Google Drive, and then give a link to patron supporters. So if you're patron supporters, you can snatch these blueprints and use in your own base if you are also like me, just getting hooked on this game. Cool. So what next? Well, now the next thing is actually using this, because we're actually needing, the stuff we really need is something we don't even have yet. Let's see, we need to go through the glass and then make a blender and then make a vitality potion. That's the long and arduous journey to complete this. The glass is not a big deal. If you look at it, it's just sand in a kiln. So that should be a pretty simple build. And then we can use, I'm pretty sure that we need the glass for the blender. Let's see. Yeah, it does need glass. So we can't get anywhere before we make glass. And then once we have that, we're going to have to figure out how to do the blood, which isn't blood, but still it looks like it. So now I built 4 of these modules, and I am simply going to take now a branch in here. There we go. And then I'm going to do a branch behind back. This is going to use a lot of nails, but yeah, that's not exactly a precious resource. So it goes here. And then this one will be able to sort of spread both ways, so that whenever I have something that needs this, then I can actually get, and each of these are producing 20, but 5 of them get consumed here. So that means each of these are producing 15 each, in net 15. That means it's a belt of 60 coming out here. So that means I get 60 out per minute, and that's enough to feed 12 tiles. And I could, since my, or is my belt speed? I don't even know, remember what I've upgraded. No, I did not upgrade belt speed, so we're stuck at 16. There's one very, very, very important thing about this design here. And that is, which I should have mentioned, is that it doesn't work unless you have at least 1 fuel efficiency. Otherwise, the amount of wood turned into charcoal powder isn't enough to actually feed itself. Then it will stutter, and as a stutter, it falls out. So you need to have at least 1 upgrade, and preferably 2, just to make sure that it's really smooth. But I do think the fuel upgrade is a valuable one, because, well, otherwise you spend way too much effort on fuel. This is awesome. So let's take a look at how we built the next part, which would be the glass, I suppose. So the last thing we want to do, as this is running along, is to just make some glass. We won't be able to make all the way to the new potions, because that's a little bit more complicated as well. But I moved the farms over here. They're just hiding away in the corner. So right here, what we're going to do is, let's see. We want to take a look at glass. So glass comes 6 seconds, and it takes 6 for each one. So this is 6 seconds, then this is 6 per 6 seconds, so it's 1 per second. And the glasses comes from, it's very slow, but it comes from stone. So we are going to be need to get 3 stone locations. And if I do there, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 wood location for fuel. There we go. And that also dictates how wide it can be, and it's just really neatly sort of positioned here. So this is the width that we have, and then we need a kiln, and we need 1 kiln for fuel. I'll do it this way, and then we need another. Oh, this is a furnace, and we need a kiln on top of one of these, like that. So let's start with the fuel parts. Let's see. This one, since this is producing 30, then we only need 2 crucibles. So I can get, let's see, 1, 2, and that means I can get you here, up and back again. So that goes in here, and that's it. Then on this side, I'm gonna go out this way. Yes, and that's the, oh no, that's not even enough. We need this part. We also need these here. Good. And that means I can still do, this is going to be turned around and like that. So this is the fuel coming in. We just deal with the fuel first, because then that feels kind of comfortable. Do I even need this one here? I definitely need something over there. And fill it up. Let's go in, go back, out. So this should be the fuel taken care of. Let's put that in here and let's kickstart it. There we go. So that's fuel taken care of. Now we just need the other part, and that will be 6 plus 6, that's 12, and they are all really slow. This is, let's see, this one. What? TT, there we go. Here, and I'm just going to put some stone in here just to see that it is indeed only 5 seconds. So I need 2 of these, or I need 4 of these each for one of these. So 1 is 20, goes into 4. Let's see. Since it's a little bit off, then I can do that way. I can do this here. Then I can take you. Nope. And I can also take you. And there. This will be out, out, and this goes into the first 4. This go into these 2. So this of the left one goes into these 8 or these 4. This one goes to the top 4 over here. This one goes to the bottom 4. It's something. It's a little bit weird, but I think that's how it's gonna be. Then we need to make sure that the outbound here, where does that have to go? I think that has to go into a block. So. Or a storage box. I could get that into here, I guess, or actually that one. Nope. Because it has to come down here. Good, that's outbound and outbound. So outbound go in here, and then it goes into the box like that. And it also needs to go into a catapult to go back. Then I need to get all the rest of this. I think I'm going to grab this here. Then that goes here. And then I think we're just going to go like a really simple build here. That will now be also from this location and up. That's the wrong way. In there and in there. So now I need to get from this location in and in. Oh wow, it's actually already working or already doing stuff. Huh. Let's get this just some seed material in here. That one just got done, so let me take another one. There we go. I'm not hooking it up until I'm happy with this, but I'm pretty happy about it. Pretty happy. Okay. So, where are we? The stone is processing. The stone has to pass through, and then I should be able to get it here. Let's continue in the meantime, getting some of these locations. And that will be... Man, I'm so happy I changed it to have floors here. That would be a very strong recommendation for me to do that for everyone. I think that I need to have a location like this. And then that's going to be into this one. That's the only one we have remaining. Yep, the only one we can do is glass in that one. So let's move this back as well. I'm going to take it here and here, I guess. And then, yeah, you're not exactly going to hit. This is such a short distance, so we'll just put a belt. There we go. And let's see if that works. In, while the rest is just processing. I do think this is the maximum range. There we go. So now there's a full cycle. Now we just wonder why it's not working. Oh, because it's set to the wrong one. There we go. And we should get the glass coming out. Where's the glass? Where's the glass? It's very blue, turquoise even. And this is of course jamming because everything up here was jamming, so that's fine. We'll send it in and bounce. Bounce. It's such a silly thing. We're just going to follow this back again, and then we know that it's actually there. We can see the carpenter crest is also requiring 60 glass. So as soon as we have that, then we'll go. There we go. And bounce again. Bounce again. And that should go now into the last one. And there's just 3 tiles is the maximum or the minimum we need in order for us to sort of smoothly run through. Oh, why is that one not working? That's probably linen, isn't it? There's also some other issues here. Okay, that's just something I'll fix between sessions because, yeah, that needs to be fixed. Okay, so I'm really happy about it. I'm going to provide some blueprints for all of the designs we have. This one's good, but it's just a question of why it is not getting in there. It's here, it's here, it's here. Oh no. Really? Wow, that was essential. There. And that one. And these here. Just put them out. There we go. So, right, that was one thing, and then the next one is here. The rope is not actually connecting. Rope is in that one. Good. So it's this one. Where the hell are you supposed to be? Oh, that's probably here. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to trace this. Oh, that's the iron part. The iron is not working. Yes. And that means the screws are not coming. Okay. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Right. So what we can do in upcoming episodes is we are going to build the next level of flask, and we're going to be converting some of the things we have into some of all of this manual into some more automatic ones, such as, for example, this one would be very valuable to convert into something, the potions, because potions are very valuable. So really like that to be converted. This one is also losing like a ton of it with the linen build. So that would also be nice to have, but I'm not sure that's feasible. But yeah, and there's the pulleys, and here is the rope. So yeah, we can probably do a combined rope and linen build. That would be valuable. Anyway, I'm going to start saving some blueprints. So you can grab some blueprints if you feel like it. They should be on my Patreon page and on Discord if you are a Patreon supporter. So let me know and what you think about it. And I'll be seeing you in the next episode as we progress. Until then, take care. And as always, stay effective.